We are live, and this is Evenly Yoked Television.
I'm Kyra.
I'm.
See, you
okay. Okay, I'm gonna have
my
to pull.
throat. I'm sorry, my throat, y'all.
I'm gonna have to pull my microphone in
Our
a little
throats
bit
are
closer
going
to
in
me
and out.
today. You know, we're just a tad bit under the weather,
Yeah, our throats are not the best.
and even with that, we're under the weather, and this woman still wants to try to throw me off by doing our introduction incorrectly.
Well, because you almost had it right when you should have just said, you're going to bad habits. Make progress.
Okay, we're gonna start from the top. Okay, I'm Robert, and this is Kyra. I really don't think this is funny. So what we're going this is it's so poignant for what we're talking about today, which is better communication. So she clearly is going to need some of that because she don't understand. Like even before we started this, and one of the keys, what was he saying that I need to say? I love you and I'm on your team, but you need to start doing the introduction properly, which is I am Robert, this is Kyra, and we are evenly yoked. How you guys doing out there today?
You left out a whole lot of stuff in between.
I did not leave out nothing.
We're going to work on it.
Okay, since you feel like you can do it better, you start it off. You say it.
Oh, no, I was talking about what we're about to be talking about.
Exactly. I'm Robert. This is Kyra. We're evenly yoked. And per usual, we're going to start off with a little bit of levity, as we always do.
A little levity.
Yeah, indeed. You know how I like to do it. We're just going to check out a few things that I looked up.
There we go.
This first one is hilarious to me.
And I don't know about this levity today. I haven't seen it.
How we got to talk to our kids sometimes.
Junior, your mom was going through your phone yesterday and told me that she saw you sending your thing through text message. What's up with that?
I didn't send my thing through text message.
What you mean?
It was too big for a text message, so I had to airdrop it.
That's like 5 gigabytes, son. You telling me your thing's so big you can't send it through a text message? You gotta airdrop it?
Yes, sir. And also, when I sit down, my thing touches the water.
Junior, you 7 years old. You telling me when you sit down, your thing is already touching the water?
Yeah.
Look at it.
Oh, boy, you
Look at it.
That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you gotta put it out there. Let me know how many gigabytes you got. You know
Don't
what I'm
cut
saying?
that thing off in there.
Yeah.
Don't cut that off.
Do it again, and I'm gonna put my foot in your ass.
Did
You feel
EJ
me?
get it out?
You're watching Learning now?
No, go tell EJ to cut that off and go watch TV.
Learning, please. Look, we're live. Sorry,
Your mom was
y'all.
going through your phone yesterday and told me that she saw you.
That is hilarious to me, boy.
Say we started parenting. That was funny.
What you mean?
It reminds me of, I'd be like, really though?
What did it remind you of?
Of you? I'd be like, are you serious?
What are you talking about? How it be
I'd be
dangling?
like, yeah,
how,
that's my boys.
How it be touching
And
the
I'm like,
water
no,
already?
it's a little bias, you know. It's a little bias.
And mommy and dad
These kids, boy. These kids of ours. Again, we might as well start saying, our introduction a little bit differently.
Because we
And
need to
including the children, because they will not stay out of here while we're trying to do our show.
Especially the
But it's
L
all,
to the J.
but it's all good. But yeah, I thought that was hilarious, because that's the type of strange pride that we have in our sons. Once they start to come of age, we're starting to be they start to be men folk, right? And all right, when that that thing
babies.
sometimes that thing bigger than 5 gigabytes.
Not bigger than 5.
That ain't no it ain't no bite size piece.
1 second, let you talk.
It ain't bite size. It's bigger than 5 gigabyte. Oh, Lord Jesus, and that was hilarious. That was hilarious to me. That was hilarious. Kyrie, you ready for this next one? She over there. She got to step out and go parent some more. Hold on, you guys. We're going to be right back while we figure that part of it out. We'll be right back. So sorry about that. We're back. We're back live. You know, this again live is live parenting. Even Yoked TV, live marriage, live parenting. This is what we do here, apparently.
Yep, he was just back there having to yell at the kiddos. So.
Yeah, you know, sometimes they don't want to listen to what you say.
Listen, you guys.
We'll move on to the second piece, and then we'll move into the topic.
Look, you can tell him he's like, are you good, honey? Huh? You're not gonna answer my question.
Let's check this out, man.
Can you answer my question?
Thanks for coming in.
Which is?
One moment, you guys. We got to take another pause. We have to take another. Hello.
Oh, not a
Oh,
microphone.
I'm back. I'm back again. We'll get back into it. I'm sorry, y'all.
Say technical difficulties. Hold on, I think I've seen this one.
This is kind of weird, but people have been complaining that when you pray for them, they're kind of distracted because you sound too much like Denzel Washington.
And they told you that. But they didn't come and tell me, so that's the problem. Everybody is skipping over me. If you have a problem with me, you can tell me.
I swear he sounds like Denzel.
That is spot on. And you really pray for people like that?
My Lord, he sounds like Denzel.
Because he died to save my life. Huh? You understand? The devil ain't got nothing on Jesus. I can guarantee you that. I stand by it, or I sit by it. That's why I'm in the chair now.
Do you know anybody who maybe is a little less distracting? Well, what about Dave Chappelle? Okay, let's hear Dave Chappelle.
Lord, please help. They need you. Your children is dying, Lord. Please. They need healing. They're going crazy. They're losing their minds. Ah!
What else? What else you got?
Okay, something a little more subtle. What about like a Franklin Saint?
Franklin? But what if Franklin was on BT?
No cursing.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't curse because.
Hey, Brother King, thanks for coming in. This is kind of
that is hilarious. This brother sounds just like Denzel.
Yeah, is this one of the actors,
kept on stage.
the comedians that he's putting on his thing?
I don't know. I've seen
him found him or something.
Seen him on Facebook a long time ago. So I don't know if that was somebody he knows regularly or if he's on his show. I've never seen them together outside of that before. But all right, woman, you ready to get into this YouTube about communication today?
Yes.
You clearly need a little bit more communication going on around here. Huh?
Say always.
Always. Well, I guess everybody can stand to get better. And that's what we're going to do. That's why we're going to check out this video by Pastor Dharius Daniels, where he's talking about different ways where you can elevate your communication game.
I'm going to say that again. Tough conversations don't destroy relationships if they have the right way. So many times people are like, I don't want to have the conversation and I don't know what it's going to do to the relationship. And I'm not saying that tough conversations won't be challenging in certain relationships. There are times where there are people who are just not emotionally intelligent enough to handle tough conversations, no matter what approach that you take. But I do believe that there are some relationships, if they matter to you.
Yeah, I think that's a very true statement right there. You know, some people it don't matter how you come to them. You know, they always gonna take it the wrong way. And not most. I would say those particular types of individuals. You know, they're really out there as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, it's just that their mind is not where yours is. So everybody can handle different things, and yeah, because I think when we heard this one, we both was like, "That's really true." Yep. Some people you shouldn't. You know how some people say you shouldn't waste your breath.
Yep.
But you know, I'm one of those type of people that Sometimes I waste my breath too much sometimes.
Yeah, you want to fight all
but
the
it's
fights.
those, we're always trying to be optimistic and find the, and like he said, but some relationships are worth the risk. Your family. Don't go there. I see you. Don't go there. Your family.
As he said, some.
Friends that have shown to be friendly.
Now, there might be some relationships where you're like, you know what? It's just this is not even worth it. But I believe there are some relationships for you that are worth the risk. And if you want to say, hey, I don't want to be hyper aggressive, but I don't want to be passive aggressive. I want to be as effective as possible. Meaning that if this doesn't go well, it's not because I didn't deliver it well. You can't control whether or not it goes well. I want you to release yourself from that expectation. You can't, because there are so many factors beyond you that determine how a person handles a conversation.
See, this is really imperative, because to me, what I'm hearing him saying, what I'm seeing say is that we can't determine how they receive it, but we can determine our tone of how we deliver it and how we speak it, how we serve it on the platter, or, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I think that's 100% true. I mean, there's a lot of times I think most of us, we always feel like we're delivering something a certain way, and we may not even be delivering it that way. And we might be spot on, but it could be any number of things in that other person's life that's causing them not to take it the way that you're sending it.
Right? Because do we ever? It's rare that people, before we have a conversation, before we say something to people, do you really say, okay, let me get my tone right. Let me say this the right way. Like really take that inventory. And that's, if you want to be effective, that's really what you need to do. Because I think a lot of people say, hey, if you can't help, don't hurt.
Indeed.
And you want your tone and how you're presenting something to come across right. But then again, it's not our responsibility if it's fertile ground or how they receive it, but we really have to take inventory about how we're presenting it and delivering it.
Yep, that is true.
But, you want to do everything that you can to make sure you don't get in the way of it being received well. So you don't want to be hyper-aggressive. You don't want to be passive-aggressive. You want to be assertive. You want to get right in the middle there. And so what I want to give is some tips for tough conversations. These are kind of outlined by John Townsend.
Yeah, I wrote the tips down.
Us through some steps that I think are just some best practices for tough conversations. I'm going to share these steps with you, and hopefully they're steps we can implement either right now with a tough conversation that you need to have, or in the future when you need to have one. You've got these practices in your tool belt, and you can reach for them and use them. All right. So here are some tips for tough conversations. Here's the first thing you want to convey. Now, you don't necessarily have to use this language. You don't necessarily have to quote these words, but this is the heart of what you want to convey when you're having a tough conversation. Number one, I love you and I'm on your side. I love you and I'm on your side. You don't have to say, I love you and I'm on your side, but you want to communicate that I love you, that I am interested in your well-being. I am on your side. I am for you.
Now, see, this is one that kind of hit me a little bit because, the type of person that I am, I like to say things bluntly and true and straight to the point. And 99.99999% of the times I am right. But sometimes how I say it is not really conveyed properly, like to my wife, because she thinks that I'm just being too harsh when I say it or something like that. So I was looking at this. I was like, okay, well, maybe I could lead with, hey, I love you, and I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I just want the best for you. So I'm gonna say this now, and please try not to take it, the wrong way. Maybe I could say that. That's what I thought. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think starting off with I love you and everything, yeah, I think that's a good way to, because I think, like you're saying, is that you want the person you're talking to know, I'm not trying to hurt or harm you. Mm-hmm. I'm saying this because I love you. Mm-hmm. Or I love you and I'm saying this. And he said, I'm on your side. Mm-hmm. I know that was always a big thing for me early on. It was like, okay, are you attacking me? But it's not. If you're on my side, you're not attacking me. You're trying to help me. I'm not using you. I appreciate you. I honor your commitment and contribution to my life. Mm-hmm. And those are, I don't want to say it like that, but in sales, it's almost like
a disarming tactic.
Yeah, it's disarming tactics, and the best way to get somebody to open up is to compliment themselves, is to compliment them.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
I want the best for you. I'm not using you. I'm not exploiting you. I value you. I appreciate you. I honor your commitment and your contribution to my life. And I'm on your side. You want to find a way to communicate that. Okay. However,
let me ask a question. So do you feel that you should say these things every time? Or should it just be, oh, you know it?
Well, I think the hard part, again, I can only use myself in this situation, is that, sometimes it's better for us, or for people like me, to come up with like a script of what you feel like you need to say. Mm-hmm. Because the information, again, I'm never, ever going to say anything that's intended to hurt your feelings. Right. But because I say it so truthfully and so bluntly, it can come across that way. So it could help somebody like me if you just get in the habit of saying these things before you say what's actually just on your mind.
Right. But now somebody like me, I think I should somewhere have scripts is what I'm learning. Mm-hmm. It's because sometimes I can go rogue, mm-hmm. if it's to say. It's not that I'm not saying it harsh, but I could start saying this and that because mm-hmm. I need to tell you about this, about you, and I need to make sure my script is right. And so what you say doesn't trigger or give me emotions, and I'm saying something totally different.
Well, maybe that's the thing.
So I think all people should say it, and then hopefully it just becomes second nature. Because in a sense, I have started this. Mm-hmm. I have started, I'll be like, hey, if I may suggest, or I'll be like, hey, I really, I love you, but I just want to say da-da-da. And I say, if I may suggest, because, sometimes certain people,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think maybe scripts should be utilized more in relationships if that's the case, because they work. That's why like every sales company you go to, that's why they have a script for people to follow, because they work. So,
and the script doesn't stay with you always, and that's a good point. Mm-hmm. But the script is to help you until you're able to do it on your own. And it doesn't mean that you can't add things to the script, but it's a guideline.
I like to stick to the script. So,
watch this. However, here's the second thing. Here is how your behavior is impacting me. So you want to identify the behavior, and you want to articulate the impact that it's having on you. I love you, and I'm on your side. Mm-hmm. But here's a behavior I've noticed, and this is how it's impacting me. Got me? Now, what you want to do here is articulate behavior and how it's impacting you without making judgment on the person who's engaging in the behavior. So you're saying, hey, these are things that have happened or are happening, and this is the way that it's impacting me. So you're not even judging the behavior in and of itself. You're identifying it and you're articulating how it impacts you. Now, this is a completely different conversation, but their response to how something impacts you really should be a revelation to you of whether or not this relationship is good for you. Because if something is...
What were you saying?
No, he said, so how they respond should tell you, it should give you a very good indication of how you should proceed. Because a lot of times, I mean, we got to start realizing when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. You know, believe them. You know, and if they show you that they don't really care about what you're saying, or if there's never any, okay, if they don't address, okay, I see you feel that way. Can I do this to make it better, or try to change something? Not trying to change them, but at least, you know, caring about how what they're doing is how it's affecting you. Then that means that person really doesn't care about your feelings or you. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. You know what I mean? And that's like one of my pet peeves. Like, I don't like to be around people and I tell you, because for one, to tell somebody how you're feeling is a vulnerable place. So for one, if you're not even going to acknowledge the vulnerability that I just had with you, I can't really trust you to hold me right. You know what I'm saying? You can't, because it's a vulnerable situation. And then for two, you don't even care enough to try to make some kind of adjustment. You know, that must mean that you don't really care too much to have me in your life. And, you know, I think I just, you know, I had to have this, maybe it might be a year now. Gosh. You know, with a friend or someone that I thought was a friend. And there was just no adjustment, you know. And I had to have the hard conversation and about how I was feeling. And the craziest thing is after I had the conversation, it was like the person just was like, okay, well, bye. I'm like, dang. Like, I was trying to get us to get better. But,
See,
all right.
That's good, because that's the thing that, like I told you when you had that conversation, is that sometimes you overestimate the value that somebody else has on you in their life. And we'll be, you know, hey, you know, you need to come around and be the best friend and this, that, and the third. And, you know, I say, you know, hey, but they never been treating you like that. So why do you expect that? You know what I'm saying? Like, they never been, but then, you know, they get on the conversation, you know, you ain't been a good friend. Oh, really? Peace.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That's okay.
Like, I've heard that before.
Do they
you have.
Go ahead and cut.
But still peace. Okay.
Right. They go ahead and cut their own self right on up out of your life.
Yeah.
Let's finish up what he's saying.
And I'm sorry. He's
go ahead.
No, I wrote notes. No, but he's going to say it. No, he's going to say, but the biggest thing too is that when you do this part, is that it's hard to say how something's impacting you and not judge them. You know, you can't be judgmental.
Can't be judgmental of how they act toward your. Well, yeah, I agree with that. You know, you should never.
It's just about how it's affecting you.
You shouldn't have no expectations over certain things like that. Like if they don't react the way you think they should, then it's just you just start treating them differently, or maybe not even treating them different, but you handle those situations differently. Yeah. And that's how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be, oh, you know, I hate you now because you didn't do what I said. Well, if what is required is that whoever's in your life must do exactly what you say, in order for them to be a part of your life, then you will be a very lonely individual. Exactly. Because no one is going to do 100% of what you say, and it doesn't work that way.
A person you're in a relationship with, whether platonic, romantic, whatever, doesn't care. That says something. I'm not saying that means that you have to abandon the relationship, but I am saying that is something that you shouldn't ignore. I'm not saying that means blow everything up, but I am saying pay attention. This is the behavior, and this is the way it's impacting me. Got me? Okay.
Got you.
Here's the third thing. I can't make you change this behavior, but I have to change some things if you don't.
There you go.
That's accountability,
I
right?
can't make you change this behavior, but I have to change some things if you don't. I can't make you stop yelling at me, but I can't continue to sit while you yell at me because I just told you how that impacts me.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Got me? Okay. So what is this? This is you articulating, in some sense, that you're going to have to set a boundary.
Boundaries.
Got me?
That's good.
Okay.
Yes.
And then last but not least, you articulate what that boundary is. If this doesn't stop, this is exactly what I will have to do. It's one thing to say, I'm going to have to change some things. It's another thing to clearly articulate, these are the things I'm going to have to change.
You know what I just thought of?
Go ahead.
He didn't say we should tell people what we need them to do for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's about what they are doing that we need them to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I was just thinking about something. It's like, okay, a lot of people, well, I need you to do that for me or do that. That's not what it's about.
Uh-huh.
You sort of get what I'm trying to say. It's like, it's not requiring things of people to
Well, yeah, I think
to add to you.
right.
This is specifically about, hey, I need you to subtract that what you're doing because what I need to be added to me, that is really my accountability to for myself, maybe. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's good. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, that's exactly what you should be doing. You know, everybody always feels like, and, you know, I say this all the time. You know, you go into marriage or you go into relationships and everybody says, oh, you know, it should be forever. Oh, is that so? So if I punch you in the mouth, it should be forever, right? If I punch you in the mouth, it should still be forever?
I mean,
okay, so then what if you articulate, hey, you know, I really, just like Dharius Daniels was just saying, I really, you know, the way I don't feel, firstly, I love you and I'm on your side, right? But I'm going to tell you that like you hit me in my eye, and it really hurt.
right.
It really hurt. So this is what, you know, this is what I'm going to have to start doing. If you hit me in my eye, you know, I might have to, you know, I might have blocked, you know, throw up a dot. No, I'm just. But for real though, you know, we might have to, you know, separate and be somewhere else if you keep hitting me in the eye. You know, people don't want to, you know, we just romanticize this thing like you're not with two humans who have hormones, who have shit the things that change on a consistent basis in your body that person doesn't even understand exactly all the time. That person don't even understand exactly what they're talking about. I mean, we as human beings, we're just a collection of our experiences in this world. That's all we are. Today, whatever you are, you just are who you are, a collection of those things that happened to you from your childhood, that happened to you from when you were in middle school, high school, college, and now. Yesterday. What happened to you yesterday affects who you are today.
And that's why the title of this is your emotions affect your relationships.
Yeah, that was the title of his video. Our title is not that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that's the title of his video was, you know.
Video link in the description, just in case you want to watch the whole thing.
Yeah. So, and then he said, you know, about boundaries. You know, a lot of times, sometimes when you hear boundaries, you think, oh, but you do have to have healthy boundaries for the people. And I think it's just not just for people in general, but just like I always tell our kids, how you treat you, others will treat you.
That's right.
And so it's about how you treat yourself so that others will know how to treat you as well. And those boundaries and those things you will and won't accept
That's right. I agree with that. Is there anything else that you wanted to add to this? Anything else you took notes on?
No, he said if this doesn't stop, this is exactly what I have to do.
Yeah,
another thing too, I think we have to write notes.
If you punch me in my
well,
eye again,
when you're having this conversation, because you need to write it down. Like for number 2, you need to write down how it's affecting you. Like you need to jot them notes down.
Oh, you mean like my eye was blacked out this time?
No. Here is how your behavior is impacting me. You need to write. It's making me feel.
I had to get 16 stitches this time. Like, what are you talking about? You gotta write all that down, huh?
Well, you do. You need to. And then it says I cannot make a change, but you need to write down the things you're gonna have to change.
Right.
You know, you have to write those 2 things down. What is the effects for you and making you feel, and what are you gonna have to change? You know, if they don't. So never in here is it saying, "Hey, I need you to do ... You're not telling the person that. You're not doing it. You're telling them you love them. You're telling them, hey, with no judgment, your behavior, that this is your behavior that I've seen and how it's affecting you.
Right.
And that if it don't change, this is what I'm going to change.
There you go. I think that was an extraordinary video on helping you out with your communication.
It really is.
Communication is key in any relationship, and let's try to do a little bit more good communication.
Yeah, you're communicating.
My communication is pretty good
right now.
With
your hands.
Oh yeah, well All right, you guys. That's all we got for this one. This has been Evenly Yoked TV. I'm Robert. That's Kyra.
This is Kyra.
You're supposed to do the part where we talk about commenting, liking, and subscribing. That's your part.
Well, yeah, we want y'all to talk with us.
It's your outro.
Are you about to have a conversation? Ooh. A tough conversation?
Oh, yeah.
You know, what tough conversation are you having? Are you going to use these steps? Don't just go in the tough conversation and blow up. And take time.
There you go.
In the conversations. Let us know.
Yep. And subscribe. Peace.
Deuces.